Hey voters! So the national political scene gets a lot of attention on the news, and rightly so. I mean, our country is being run by a reality TV star. However, I'm going to spend time today on this video telling you to ditch your cable news and start to pick up on some local journalism again. I promise I'll give you some good reasons. Here's why. Number one, the commercials are way better. Exhibit A.
What credit card will we be using?
That's a lot of money, but she's worth it.
Exhibit B.
Oh my Lord, I never thought there were so many Hyundais here in heaven.
Number two, while it is adorable to think that federal politicians care about us would need to be a majority of their constituents or the individuals that put them in office. Sure, I don't want to stop you. Send your letter to the White House, and maybe an unpaid 20-year-old intern whose most significant work experience in that job will be learning what sexual harassment is, so they can avoid it in the future, hopefully, might see it and throw it away. I mean, I tried to send President Trump bread flour during this whole shutdown thing because everybody's been getting their sourdough starter on, and the only recognition that I got for that gesture was the NSA tapping my phone. So, thanks, losers. Why are you so obsessed with me? Number three, local politicians have to care about what you think because it's so easy to find where they live. Plus, many of the things that you care about on a national level need to be addressed at the local level, and are almost always better addressed at the local level. Do you care about police brutality and violence against communities of color? Well, do I have news for you? That's not just a national problem, it's a local problem too. Do you care about the state of education in this country? Your local school board, school administrators, and teachers union have a lot to do with the success of children in your area. And you can attend those meetings publicly. You can even run for school board. The funding of your local school system depends on the property tax values usually set by your city or township. It's actually really hard to get through your day without butting up against something to do with your local government. When it comes to your roads, your fire department, your police department, what schools you attend or your children attend, much of this has to do with local government and at the local level, or where you can build a business or what tax rate your property has. All of this is determined not by President Trump, but by someone who lives much closer to you. And will have to be responsive when you show up at meetings or write them letters. So, we've established it's important to get involved in local government. But how do we do that? Local government is confusing. So let's break it down and we'll keep the analogy as simple as I can make it. So there are 4 levels to local government, and we'll use the analogy that you live on a property and inside of a house. So the property that you live on is like your county. So the county has distinct geographical boundaries that always butt up against other counties or properties. Or some states call them parishes like Louisiana, or Alaska they call them boroughs. I think trying to convince people that they're cool enough that someone might want to live there, but it's gonna take a little bit more than that. Also Alaska, forget about it. These are boroughs. So what the county is responsible for has a lot to do with citizen safety, as well as enforcing state laws at the local level. In New York City, the boroughs essentially function in many of the same ways that a county would. The next level, so the house that's on your property, represents city or municipal government, or townships. They're essentially here on the same level. So a city really focuses on a population center, whereas a township would focus more on a small geographic area. So except for the 10 Indian reservations in New York City, every piece of land inside of New York State belongs to either a city or a town, and with the exception of the city of Geneva, that town or city belongs in only one county, which must have been what the Geneva Conventions were about. So city government is responsible for things like infrastructure, zoning laws, making sure that snow and ice are removed from those roads, which of course we never ever have problems with. So again, another reason to get involved with local government. Can you never get out of your driveway? Or are the sidewalks not accessible for people in wheelchairs? I'm looking at you, Buffalo. So continuing with this analogy, the garden in your backyard, or on this property, has a specific function, right? You're growing vegetables there, maybe flowers, you're using it for a specific purpose. This represents our special districts. So a special district is something like a school district, might be a public library district, a sewage feed district. There are even districts specifically allocated to mosquito population maintenance. Good on them. Bless those people, God's work. So in New York State, there are 62 counties, 62 cities, 932 towns, 555 villages. There's a lot going on. I mean, come on, greatest state in the union. Excelsior! So why does local government matter? I mean, not only are they making sure that there are roads that people can safely use, maybe even bike lanes, fire departments, court systems, police departments, they're responsible for the administration of justice in your city, town, county, but also it's a lot easier to get the attention of local representatives about the issues that you care about.
I found a sandwich in one of your parks, and I want to know why it didn't have mayonnaise.
Even, honestly, getting one-on-one face-to-face meetings with your New York State Assembly member or your city council member. They're a lot more responsive to your calls and questions, and a lot fewer people are contacting them. New York State consistently has some of the lowest voter turnout of any state in the nation. I'll talk a lot more about this in other videos, especially as we get closer to November, but just know that your voice is absolutely important, your vote is important. Guys, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it made you laugh and that it makes you a little bit more interested in state and local legislation and governance. So I'm going to leave a description down below with some links that have local publications throughout New York State, as well as some podcasts you might want to listen to get more involved. Worth your time. So tell me, do you write your local representatives? Have you been to city council meetings? Have you voted in school board elections? Let me know how you participate in local government, because it's something that I personally am looking to do more of. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.